everybody. Post in the Discord real quick, and then we should be on our way. All right, should be good to go. Jack, what's going on? How you doing? All right. Braden, what's up? How are you guys doing? All right, that is good to go. This goes over here. What's going on, everyone? That goes there. I need a browser window over here. Perfect. You guys all doing all right? Everyone doing okay today? Had a good weekend? All right, that's there. Perfect, perfect. Should be good to go. So, I guess my first question, is there anything that anybody is watching on PWCC right now? We just entered the window, and I just want to show you guys sort of what I've bid on so far. Whoa! Somebody needs to chill on this guy. That's crazy. This is probably like a $150 card right now. So these are the ones that I put bids on. Let me sort this. Should go low to high. Yeah, there's, you know, it's pretty interesting, man. I've sort of developed a little bit of a strategy trying out this week, where basically I'm trying to find cards in bad grades, because the cards are great, right? It's just the grades aren't all that great. And so people really undervalue the cards just because they're in a bad grade. Oh no. Yeah, that's right. I remember you told me you were doing the golden thing. How did I do this before? Did I do this? Sorry, I'm trying to organize my desktop so I'm not looking crazy here. Do that. This back up. Okay, perfect. So there's certain cards, for example, like this card. I found this earlier today. It's in a CSG slab. It's an 8.5, but it's a Mac Jones numbered to 149. And I already know that this card raw does around 300, right? So we search for Red Wave, Mac Jones. Let's go to sales. There aren't that many sales on it. There's sales on the auto, but so 235 was the last sale. That was today, actually. There's 217. There's a 315. That's the auto. There's 217 again. 305. So the card's like 250 to 300-ish, right? So when I bid on it, it was 160, so it was right around 200. Now it's probably a little bit too high. Yeah, it's off left to right, but so this is probably a bad example, but like for example this card, right? So this is a purple Lewis Hamilton out of 10 from Sapphire. I don't know if there's any sales on this exact card, but let me go here. Just as an example, I found this one earlier today. So it's in a CSG 8.5. That's not the purple. Let me find a purple one. So for example, a purple. It's hard to find the It's hard to find the purple ones. I found them earlier. Why come they're not showing up? Yellow one. Let's try this. Okay, here we go. So for example, so this is like a similar card, right? It's not the exact same card, but it's a sapphire purple. It's one of the variation, one of the like Grand Prix knockoff ones, but it's a 10 and it sold for $460. So I found this card. It's in a CSG 85. So I'm assuming the problem is that it has that mark on it. That's why I'm guessing it got the 85. It's obviously hard to tell without seeing it in person. I'm looking along this side. That's usually where it is. It's on the top or bottom here. So I don't see it. Yeah, there it is. So you guys see that? You see this little nick here? It's a little indentation. They all kind of have them. But anyways, like this card is probably raw a $400-ish card. I don't know specifically like which Lewis Hamiltons do better, but all the kind of purple sapphire, like here's another sapphire. This is July 10th. Purple out of 10. This one did 463 and a 7. So here's again in a 7, 597. And so that's kind of what I was looking at, is like all the purple, even the stuff from this year, the purple out of 10s are doing like 400 and a 9, 300 and a 9. So, I've just figured first year Hamilton, probably a little bit undervalued. Seems like people are kind of grabbing it. So right now, if I bid on it, I'd pay 300 for it, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Again, I think it's like a $400 card. But yeah, here I am, man. Yeah, but again, Tim, it's like it's a purple. I guess it's not vertical, so that's one thing to consider. But it's a nice card, you know what I mean? So that was kind of my, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out like what the best method is here for getting good deals on PWCC, and this is one that I found. It's just kind of finding good cards that are not in great grades or in random slabs, random like knockoff slabs. And so this was one of them that I found. It's probably $350 to $400-ish raw, I would guess. And it's a decent long-term hold. So these Star Wars cards are real interesting to me. I'm not bidding on anything yet because everything I'm interested in has already been extended. So this card, just for an example, just plug this one in here. Whoops, wrong one. So this card sold raw for $180.27 on July 19th. Now, granted, that's kind of when the set was relatively new-ish or was gaining a lot of attention. And this isn't like the preeminent Luke Skywalker that you want. So this one, so we'll look at some similar ones. So the green out of 50 did 250. This one's up at 120, and this is out of 99 in a PSA 9. So I'd venture to guess this card's like 175-ish. In a PSA 9. This was a raw sale for 180. So, and I don't know what the quality of this set is. Like, I don't know if it gems very often or what, but, that was another interesting card that I found. This is really the one that you want, this Luke right here. This is kind of like I'll pull it up for you guys. This is kind of like the portrait, I guess. This is the card number 1. So I'm looking at this one. I looked at this one, and here's another educational moment for you guys. So if I'm gonna look at this, this is where like sort of knowing the sports and knowing when the market does what... I don't know why my copy paste is not working today. Copy. There we go. All right. So, for the UFC stuff, oftentimes they will get a huge bump right before their fight or right after their fight, especially if they win. So, this card, for example, I just looked up when his fight was. You guys want to guess when his fight was? There's a sale on June 11th, June 11th, June 11th, June 12th. His fight was on June 11th. So, this card right now is at 125. But this is literally the peak of what this card's going to be. First time champion, right? He's not really in the mix, in my opinion, of like greatest of all time. He's got a lot to work on. I don't think he's a dominant champion moving forward. So I know there's a Raw that sold a couple weeks later for $202.50, but in my opinion, this card right now is probably like $125 because he just doesn't have any hype anymore. Like his big hype was leading up to getting, like everyone wants the cards when they lead up to getting the championship, and then they kind of settle. Usman stuff would be way down. Yeah, you know, he never got any hobby love, Usman. In my opinion, it's because his fights are really boring to watch. He just kind of like grapples with people and shoves them in the corner. But yeah, especially after losing last night, I mean, that's not a good investment. This card's interesting to me too. This orange refractor. Let me see if I can pull it up. Pull logo. Yeah, but he lost. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense, like in general, but at the same time, like it's so these both. I looked this up on 134 earlier. So these went for $250. It's the same card. I don't know if it's just two different ones, but they both were at $250. So this card right now is only at $105. I think it's probably around a $200 card. SGC 9's not a terrible grade for this. Let's see if it has the mark. It actually doesn't have the mark on it, so there must be some other surface, something or another. But that's a card I'll watch. The orange one. Yeah, I'll bid on it for you if you want. I bid on this Trey Sermon. Gold out of 10. Though I've been reading and it sounds like he might get cut, so we're not going to bid on that. This Jordan Love, it was really, I can't remember, my bid was $12. Yeah, so I got in on this one really early. I was just curious kind of where it would end up. I'm going to look it up and see kind of where that one's going. So 169. That one didn't have the auto. See, this is why you don't grade the auto, guys. Don't grade autos. It's such a waste of money. You can only lose by grading the auto. You can only lose. So don't grade your autos. Yeah, me too. I was surprised about it because he was amazing in college. So this card is probably, about going for about what it's worth. He hasn't had a great preseason. It's been okay, but this card was interesting too to me. It's a flawless patch auto. I just want to look at kind of what this one's been going for. Just curious more than anything. So it looks like it goes for 76, 102, 113. That was in July. These were all in July, so I'd say it's probably around $100. So right now it's at 72. Probably not something I'm interested in, but that's actually a good grade for it. Potential, just crack it out of that slab. And quick F1 question. I think there will ever be a demand for the Chrome F2 cards, sort of like Bowman first cards that would end up being their first print. Yeah, I mean, well, the only example we have of it so far is Mick Schumacher, I think. And his stuff definitely has value, the F2, like the first year stuff. But I don't know if it's because it's first year Chrome. But yeah, I think it will. I don't think it's gonna be like Bowman. Bowman seems to be like its own thing. For UFC fighter maintain long-term hobby interest, I think I'd like for them to wind up at least touching something outside of combat sport. Yeah, that's probably true. Or they just need to be like immensely popular, well, I would say like McGregor. Sean O'Malley has a big like YouTube thing that he does. There's actually a Sean O'Malley card I'm watching today. Travis, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of off the McGregor train now. I just don't think he has anything to offer the sport of MMA anymore. Especially when you look at people in his division, he's just not even close to the same level as most of them. No, I know, I don't blame Woodley though. It's hard for any athlete to maintain long-term value in the hobby when you really think about it, you know what I mean? So this card, I'm very interested in. So I looked at, I think the PSA 9, he's lost a little bit of his gusto. So Raw did 61, PSA 9 did 86, SGC 10 did 121, and this card's only at 46 right now, so we bid on it, $60. I mean, I think you can't really lose for that. And there's some upside there. And that would be kind of where I would want to be on it. But he was really super, super hot. I mean, as you can tell, like in May, SGC 10 did 275, PSA 10 did 423. And then in June, about 3 weeks later after his fight, it lost about 25% of its value. That obviously was a high sale. So I think the PSA 10 is probably right around 300, but he definitely, he has a big fight coming up. He has a chance to kind of jump up there. This Lando is right around 40 raw, so we're gonna pass on that. That was like $11 when I bid on it, but definitely not buying Sand Arnold. This Stockton's interesting. This set is amazing. I love this. This is like my favorite set. And again, I'm not bidding on anything yet. I'm kind of just waiting and seeing. So this is, what is this, a 9? Yeah, so it's at, this is a card I would pay $35 for sure in a PSA 9. Like here's a 9.5 that did 55. It's probably a $50 card, I would guess. Larry Bird did 68. So these are just some other Duncan. This set's just iconic. Allen Iverson. There's a Marc Gasol rookie. There's Durant. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely one that I would, I'll pay $36 for it, and worst case scenario, I'll just keep it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, the Stockton I got at the show was sweet. Definitely was one of my favorite pickups. This card I'm definitely gonna be in on, I think, because the centering's good on it. Like, look at the centering. The centering is actually really good. I looked these up. These raw are going for like, it must have some issue. Like, it must have a surface issue or something. Right, exactly, Tyreth. Yeah, that's where it's. Okay, so here's the issue, right? The corner's messed up. So maybe I'm not interested in it. That's a pretty gnarly corner. So is that one. Though I don't know if it's just that one looks sharper. This corner looks like pretty gnarly. Let me look on the front. So that would be the bottom right corner. It doesn't look awful. Yeah, exactly. That's why I kind of target him. Yeah, it looks like it has a couple bad corners, so maybe I'm off of it. But again, this is the kind of opportunity I want to look for, because raw this card is between $60 and $80, and right now it's only going for $26. So Obviously, there's a buyer's premium, so it's probably closer to 35. But oh, the ETN Peacock, yeah, that's got a little. I made a little grading pile for myself. If you guys want to check it out. So these are some of my more recent pickups. So usually when I buy at the shows, I'll take all the cards that I got, and I'll the ones that are, you know, between $10 and $20 or $10 and up, I'll look at them. So I have this Jordan Poole. This I got from a friend. This is sealed, so I'm gonna send this one in. It's a little off center, but even if it nines, I think I'm happy with that. The Bane that I bought, you guys saw this in the vlog. This one was pretty clean, so I'm excited about this one. This is a Mac Jones that I got a couple shows ago. I was gonna send it in, but it has this little kind of streaky thing in the background. It's weird. But I asked the guy at the shop, and he said most of them had that, and he would still send it in, so I'm gonna send it in. I got this. This was part of the first trade, if you guys remember the Blue Mac Jones trade. So this Darnell Mooney rookie ticket was part of that. So this one I'm going to send in. This one looks really good. And then here's that ETN Peacock you were talking about. It's really, really cool. One of the cooler parallels, I think. And with the Jags colors, it's cool. So that's my grading stack for now. And then also all of those Marvel PMGs are currently at the shop. They're being looked over. So definitely going to be on the grading game here. All right, well, let's continue looking at. Yeah, the Peacocks are awesome. They just look really cool. So the ones we're really interested in are this Red Bull, the O'Malley, Stockton. I feel like this Jonathan Taylor's cheap too. I don't know what they go for, but it feels cheap to me. So PSA 9 does $40. So it's no, we're passing on that. Lately, I've seen the price discrepancy between PSA and SGC widening. I mean, it's always been wide. I think an SGC 10 is about 60 to 70% of a PSA 10, which is pretty good. But also, I mean, the thing that people don't take into account, turnaround time, accuracy, and price, right? It costs me $23 a card or $24 a card to grade at SGC. I get the card back literally in 10 days from when I send it. And there's no upcharging for anything. And I pretty much know what grade I'm going to get when I send the card in. PSA takes 4 months and it costs me $50 a card, and I have no clue what grade they're going to give me. They could give me a 7, they could give me a 10. I have no idea. There's no consistency at all. So you have to take those factors into account. You really do. And if I get an SGC 9.5, like, I can get more for an SGC 9.5 than I can for a PSA 9. It's just a fact. I can. I can at least get 5 to 10% more. It doesn't increase the value like crazy, and some people are snobs and they only want PSA slabs, and that's fine. But I know I can get more for an SGC 9.5. Like, for example, I had a Mac Jones Prism Red Ice. I sent it into SGC. I got it back in 10 days from when I sent it. And that card, I already got an offer on eBay for $300 for that card. Sure, a PSA 10 does $500 to $600. I get that. But I would have had to wait 4 months, and who knows if it would have come back at 10. It may have come back an 8. I have no idea. Whereas when I sent it to SGC, I was pretty damn sure it was going to come back at 10, and I got it in 10 days, and I paid $23 or $24 for it. Like, you have to take those things into account. It's not just the price of the cards. If you're buying them graded, that's fine, but if you're grading the cards, you really have to take that into account. It makes a big difference. This one, okay, rant over. I can't believe someone's paying this for this card. That's way, way over what it should be. Yeah, the only cards, the only companies you should grade with right now are SGC, PSA, and Beckett. That's it. Those, because the only reason to grade your cards is, well, to protect the card, but also to increase the value of it. And those other companies just strictly do not do that. Hey Tim, do you want this? I don't know if you saw this. Yeah, it was $240 on the Giannis, so that's like $300 for a PSA 9. Like, no thanks. I don't know what these do, but this seems dirt cheap to me. Actually, that's not cheap. That's more than what they go for on eBay. Wow, that's crazy. I thought they would be over 1,000, but they're not. Wow. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, BGS. I've heard some. Like, there's a breaker that I watch. He had a really bad experience with BGS recently. He sent it on the 15-day submission, and it took 2 months. And he got no communication from them at all. Like, zero communication of, like, how long it's going to take. That's just shitty. I'm going to watch these Star Wars cards. This one, I can't remember. I looked this up. I can't remember exactly. I mean, all my cards that I'm interested in are extended, so... I'll just star this. I'm just going to star some stuff that I'm interested to see where that ends up. I mean, CSG, I think you're just purely wasting your money if you send cards in there. I don't care how cheap it is to grade there. It adds zero value to your cards. It's just the truth. It just doesn't add any value to your cards. It puts them in a slot, and that's about it. Okay, let's see. Those are just autos. Okay, 137.50 is the last true comp on this card. So SGC 10. It's at 180. Yeah, it's too much. We'll get rid of you. Not interested in you anymore. There's an extension. It's an alt extension, and it'll show the price. It's a Chrome extension. It doesn't look like any one of these. Ooh, okay. So this sold for $570 on July 21st. That looks like that's the last sale on the orange. The green just sold for $483. PSA 10. The green is higher numbered. God, it's so confusing that some of the colors from the different companies are different numbers. It just always confuses me. So let's see. If we bid on this, it's $450. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's kind of like, you know, if we were gonna get it for like $400, maybe I'd be in. So we'll get rid of you. You're a cool card, but I'm not really super interested. Might just be the Stockton. All right. I feel like I got a bid on this though. I'm gonna back off the Star Wars stuff for now. I'm not as familiar with it. The O'Malley, I'm also gonna bid on. So this is like a $200 to $250 card. So we'll see. Somebody could have, I'm just gonna see kind of where this person bid. Okay. I'm fine paying that for it. I'm no Red Bull fan, but you know. And this one, there hasn't been any sales on it recently. And I worry about it not being the vertical one. It's in a bad grade, but I'd crack it out anyways. Yeah, it's a little too niche. So we're gonna pass on that for now. The O'Malley we're definitely gonna bid on. What was the last? I gotta look up what the last comp was again on this. I just think there's too much upside with this card. It's one that I can sell going into the fight. Okay, so I'm fine paying up to this amount for it. It's $86.99, which is the last PSA 9. Perfect. So we'll see. If someone's bid more than that, then they can have it. Okay, so we're winning it right now. At $62. Perfect. Got outbid on the Red Bull. Tim, you want the Red Bull refractor? I'll bid on it for you if you want it. I don't know if you need it for... What do you want to pay on it? What's your max? What's your max on it, bud? Right now it's at 174. 215. All right. Do you want? I'll just bid it to that point for you if that's okay. So whatever that ends up being. 210. Is that good? So I can either bid 175 or 180. Is this good? 180. So 216. All right. So we'll see. We'll just ride this, and if it goes over, it goes over. Cough was better today, so we're almost recovered. All right, so it looks like we got the Stockton. I mean, dude, I'll take that all day, man. That's Stockton. It's a sweet card. We got it for $35. I mean, you can't lose with that. You cannot lose with that. One of the most iconic sets of all time. Hall of Famer. Numbered card. Good grade, you know. Presents really well. Super centered. I mean, you just can't lose with that. $35 all day long. Well, we've been outbid, Tim. You sold half your cards at the show. That's awesome. Must have been a good show. It was mainly to one person. So, Tim, you'd have to go up to 228. Oh, you weren't including the buyer's fee. Okay, so 265 total. Okay, all right. In. So it looks like we can do 252 or 276. Or there we go, 265. All right, 264. Good? I'm in if you're in. Should we wait until the end so we can buck them? I'll wait to click yes. Sweet. Am I going to the Shipshawana show on Labor Day? Yes, I have a table. I'm splitting a table with Tim, actually. So we'll be there, hoping to buy. I mean, we're not going to snipe it, but just to put a little panic in their blood, you know? All right, so my O'Malley's getting up there. Somebody is, yeah, definitely swing by for sure. Definitely hoping to buy at that show. All right, well, we're saying goodbye to the O'Malley. Somebody wants it more than me. I am uncomfortable paying more than that, so we might just end up with one card this week, which is totally fine. Yeah, it's pretty close to the border. Yeah, it's a cool card. I mean, it's just one of those cards that's like you got to find the right buyer for it because it's not like a quick flip card. You got to crack it out. You got to present it nice. You got to probably sell it online to somebody. You got to find the right buyer and someone who's willing to pay $350 to $400 for it. So, it wasn't really for me. Yeah, his hype kind of died. He's got his biggest fight ever coming up. I don't think he's gonna win though. Let's see. Yeah. No, it's all good. Shipping's like $5, and that's really no big deal. Plus, I don't pay taxes, which is awesome. Yeah, Shipshawana was a good show. The room's a little small for the crowd that they get, but it's a great show. The guy who runs it's super nice. Really like him. Definitely worth going if you're close by. Oh yeah, sales tax exemption certificates are clutch for sure, especially when you're buying on eBay and PWCC and all that stuff. Super, super, super clutch. Definitely. I mean, you have to pay sales tax, but being able to buy without paying tax is huge. Makes a big difference. All right, here we go, Tim. How do I promote my eBay listings? I don't. I just list them. I just list them and hope people look at them. Mostly I use eBay just as a way to keep my cards up for sale. But oftentimes, if it doesn't sell within a week or two, they usually just sit there for a while. Occasionally something will come by and you'll get a good offer, but I don't know if this one is... Yeah, these aren't numbered, but they're super short printed. I know that. Yeah, I feel bad paying $90 for this because this card could just go down. I mean, if he loses, it's just like, it's kind of over for him, to be honest with you. There's only 20 of them? Wow, I didn't know they were that short printed. Whew, wow, that's crazy. How much are there of the gold ones? There's more gold ones then, right? Yeah, I mean, if O'Malley loses his next fight, it's freaking done for him. He's donezo. Big time donezo. And thank you guys for hanging out, as always. It's always super fun. 150 on Edwards last night with 0 use. Dude, nice, man. So I watched the fight. And I was laying on my bed, like dozing off essentially. And I was like, and I literally thought about just shutting it off and going to sleep after round 4. I was like, this is done. And then with like a minute left in the 5th round, the guy just head kicks him, knockout, just out of literally nowhere. Like they spent the entire 5th round talking about how dejected he was, how he's never going to come back from this, yada, yada, yada. And then from nowhere, he just head kicks the dude and knocks him out, just straight knocks him out. First time ever he's been knocked out. And I literally, not kidding you, my jaw just dropped and it stayed there for like 2 minutes. It was unbelievable. Oh yeah, me too. I mean, he had a great first round and then he just got dominated. Yeah, it was just, I mean, out cold. And he was out for like a minute. Like that was a scary kick. Like that one, and then the Francis Ngannou like uppercut on Stipe Miocic. The uppercut followed by the giant hammer fist was like, that was also scary. He went to the Shadow Realm, yeah, that's what they were saying. Went to the Shadow Realm. But yeah, that whole card was good. I only saw the end of it, but or Usman, I don't know. I don't buy Usman cards. I just don't really like the guy, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't say that to his face, but oh, Francis versus Overeem? Oh my god, dude, that was insane too. That was as nasty as it gets. Costa versus Rockhold. It was entertaining though, man. It was such a bizarre fight to me because Rockhold was so exhausted, but then he would just like throw like a huge kick out of nowhere and just like rock the dude. Or he'd just like explode and like stand up out of nowhere. It was so weird. Usman is just the most boring. I was rooting for Edwards the whole time because Usman is just the most boring guy to watch fight. He just like, but I kind of feel that way about most wrestlers who are champions. They just kind of like lay on the opponent the whole time. It's just like, all right, dude, I get it. Yeah, it was great. I actually really like Luke Rockhold too. He's just such a unique, like those kicks are amazing and like his jiu-jitsu is really good. So he was fun to watch when he was like in his prime. Like I remember I watched the Rockhold Bisping, or not Rockhold Bisping, the Rockhold Weidman fight. That was a ridiculous fight. Usman versus Colby. Yeah, but I also do not like Colby. I think he's just such an idiot. He's like your classic, just like dumb sports guy. I don't know. I don't really like him. He's just... Anyways, the welterweights I'm not a huge fan of in general. So I liked Edwards. I like Nate Diaz because he's awesome. I like Cowboy Cerrone. Yeah, Usman was just a boring champ. He was just boring. Masvidal's kind of fun. I like him. But that division is just in a weird spot too. The other weird part about Usman is like he really only defended his belt against 3 different people. Like he won the belt from Tyron Woodley, right? Who Tyron Woodley is like arguably like the weakest welterweight champion that there ever has been, right? Like he's arguably like I know he had a couple defenses and stuff, but like the people that he beat, it's the same thing with Weidman. Like Weidman didn't really like beat anyone. Like he beat Anderson Silva and then he beat like a couple of other like, like Vitor Belfort at the end of his career and Anderson Silva at the end of his career. And Woodley was kind of the same way. And Usman fought Masvidal twice and he fought Covington twice. And like, yeah, the fights weren't like particularly close, but he also wasn't particularly dominant in them. You know what I mean? And the Gilbert Burns fight, like he got rocked a couple times. Like, yeah, Woodley aged up for sure. I mean, it happens with everybody. Like the same thing happened with Demetrius Johnson, They just kind of like, they get to a point where they're just kind of like a little too old. Dominic Cruz, same thing happened with him. So, yeah, Pereira's cool. The welterweights are just kind of the only person who's interesting in welterweight. Well, I love Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is awesome. And I love Wonder Boy too. I just like him. He's just a great personality. But the only person who's interesting is Hamzat, and it's probably a good thing that Edwards beat Usman, because Usman is just going to dodge Hamzat his entire freaking career, 100%. Like, he basically, after Hamzat won against Gilbert, they were like, "Oh, what do you think about him?" And he's like, "Well, he keeps winning, and he's just got to keep doing what he's doing." And then he made some comment about how like Colby Covington can beat everyone, so they have to beat Colby before they can face him. And I'm just like, what? No, like, you're the champion. Like, take whoever is the number one. Like, it's stupid. Do I notice an uptick of selling with the economy where it is? Also, people willing to deal more now compared to a year ago? Nah, not really. It's kind of been the same for me. I don't know. It hasn't really changed that much. The only thing that's changed is like the value of the cards, really. But I don't feel like there's anything, what am I trying to say here? I don't feel like there's any fewer transactions happening. I just feel like the prices of the cards are different. So, Gilbert kind of exposed Hamzat. Yeah, in a way, yeah, for sure. I mean, his 3 fights in the UFC, he'd only been hit like twice. So, no matter what Gilbert did to him, it would be a little bit better than whatever he faced so far. Excuse me. So. All right, Tim. Whoever's bidding against you for this keeps pushing it to the next round. So we'll see. We're on our final bid now. So they extended it again. So we're at the max that you gave me. I mean, Shipley, it honestly, like, the shows that I've been to in the last couple months have been more crowded than ever, like, and more new people than ever. So I think people just enjoy it. They enjoy the hobby. And I think there's more people enjoying the hobby right now than ever before. But I think some of the stupid... Tyreth said it the best. A lot of the dumb money left, which is probably a good thing. So, and people are smartening up. They're learning what cards are worthwhile and what cards are not. And they're not just buying random cards. Oh, we got outbid, Tim. They're not just buying random cards because someone told them to, or because it was easy. Yep, let it go. Well, we tried. Chat. We did win one card tonight. I will say that we won. Yeah, exactly, Tyreth. Like, they still have value, but like, a Luca base Prism 10 being $2,000 is insane. Oh, thanks, man. That means a lot. I appreciate you saying that. I think too, I gotta be careful how I say this. I think a lot of the bad actors are leaving the hobby too, which is good. And I mean bad actors in terms of like dealers who for years and years and years were able to kind of rip people off. Now, typically the people who are buying and selling know more than those people. And so those people can't do business the same way that they did business before. And I think those people are kind of moving away, which is good. They're not all gone, but eventually they're going to realize they're not making any money. And they can't make money in the same way that they used to make money. So I think that's a good thing. I don't know. What'd you win, dude? So the card we won. Where's our card? It's kind of weird. We only won one card, but here we are. We won the John Stockton PSA 9 Orange Refractor for $34.80. I'm in. That's awesome. BCA Orange, a Prism Draft Picks Gold Auto, a Golf Auto, and a Pokemon Holo. Wow, that is super, super, super random. The dealers are guys that say, I don't care what eBay comps are. Definitely see them less and less. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's weird, man. Like, you know, and I always say this too. It's like, people can do whatever they want, right? Like, people can do business how they'd like. They can ask for whatever they want for the products that they have. The problem is when you have an educated population, it doesn't matter. And so, like, I was talking to Tim about this yesterday, and like, there's some people who set up at shows around us, and like, I don't know how they make any money. I don't think they do. Like, they'll literally sit there the entire day and not sell a thing. And I'm just like, why would you pay $30 or $40 or $60 to just sit there? Like, I don't know. That's not how I would choose to spend my time. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, and it's kind of weird too. And maybe that's just how they want to do it. It's like, they won't sell a card unless they get X amount for it. It's like, okay, I get it, right? Like, I understand that. But at the same time, like, if that's not what the card's worth, you're never going to get that amount of money for it unless you truly rip someone off. And in a community that's it's a big hobby, and obviously there's a lot of people, but like a local community where people are constantly doing business with each other, if that's your MO, your customer base is going to dry up very fast, and word is going to spread very fast. Say, hey, don't do business with this dude because he's going to rip you off. You know, like, he ripped me off when I didn't know anything, and now I don't ever go to his table. Like, that's just going to spread really fast. So I just don't really get it. Like, there was a guy who had a card I was interested in, and he said to me verbatim, he said, I wouldn't let this go for less than 500. That's what he said. I was like, okay, that's fair, you know. And I think there was an auction in December or something that was 1,000, but you know, the recent sales on it, like the last two sales on this particular card were $350 and $250. And I was like, all right, well, I guess you're not letting it go then. You know, it's like, I'm not going to pay you that for that card, so it's going to sit in your case. And no one else is going to pay you that for that card either. Unless you like truly rip someone off and someone makes a mistake. So I don't know. Bryce, we used to have that actually, and I ran into a couple problems with people who got scammed, and so I just stopped doing it, and it's been a lot better since then. It's just myself and the mods, we just don't have time to deal with that nonsense. There's plenty of other places where people can buy and sell cards, and so we got rid of it, and I'm a lot happier now because we did. If we ever bring it back, it's going to be where only certain people can sell cards, and they're all going to be people that I've personally vouched for. But it's not going to happen for the masses really ever again. So anyways, that's my long rant on like the current state of how people do business. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people like wasting their time, I guess. It's just weird to me. So now we're just kind of watching what's left from this week. There's some pretty cool stuff. I like this gold Kobe. It's a BGS 10. It's a nice red Shaq PMG at a 100. That's cool. LeBron patch auto. Oh man, where'd our cracked ice Jalen Hurts end up? Do you guys remember that from last week? That was on this week's auction. Oh, you know what? I should filter. I need to filter this week. You guys remember that cracked ice Jalen Hurts? Did that sell? Good Lord. Why? How is this card selling for $4,000? Man. I think there's a better place you can put your money than that, but that's just me. Like, I'd much rather have this, even though it's a BGS 6. There's a lot of cards I'd much rather have this. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd rather have this, or this, or this. There's a lot of cards I'd rather have than that card. But, you know. That's hilarious. And someone's buying a Trey Lance at a 99 for $4,000. And that's not even... I'd rather have this. It's an auto, at least. And I know it's a sticker auto, whatever, but still, it's an auto. But I'm more by the card, not the grade guy. So I'm not a snob for PSA 10s. I'll take whatever. This is a cool card too. 96 Finest gold refractor with the coating. This is a rookie Kobe. This is a cool card too. If you guys ever see a 2009 Topps Chrome refractor in basketball, there are inserts in the set because there wasn't a dedicated Topps Chrome set. So that's why this is selling for so much, even though it's a 6. I don't know why. Why is it a 6? That corner's a little weird. Maybe some edging stuff, but man, why is it a 6? Huh. I mean, the centering is not good, but a 6? Really? It must have some pretty gnarly surface issues. That would be my guess. Yeah, exactly, Tyreth. I still like Mac, though. I mean, of all the QBs in the class, I think he's probably the safest. He's on probably the best team. Definitely has the best coaches. It's just the downside is lower for him, in my opinion, than the rest of the guys. I mean, who knows what this guy's going to end up like, right? I mean, he went to North Dakota. Like, he hasn't played against, like, real dudes. Yeah. I mean, you never know that Tyrus. I mean, he could end up being really good. He could end up being like an Andrew Luck type. And he'll always have a little more hype than like Kirk Cousins because he was a first round pick. He was drafted by the Patriots. I don't hate North Dakota, but like, I mean, you got to understand though. Yeah. No, I mean, Andrew Luck's probably a bad comp, but you know what I mean? Like, I think that I don't think he's going to be like Mahomes. I don't think he's going to be Josh Allen, but he could be a very, very good QB. Yeah, I think Trevor has the biggest upside too. Mac to me is the safest. Oh yeah, South Dakota definitely better than North Dakota. 100%. This is a cool card too. I'm kind of a sucker. Like, I know everyone's into buying rookies and stuff, but I'd rather have like a really cool, low numbered parallel that's not a rookie than just like a random base rookie of a player. Like, I'd rather have this than like a, than the Topps rookie in a PSA 9. I just think it's rarer and it's more unique. Yep, I agree with that. I just don't see how he winds up being in the MVP conversation. Then kind of what's the point? Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, he could, he could end up being like more like a Joe Burrow though. You know what I mean? Where he has like a really good year. Like what if this year, like he has a really great year and he takes the Patriots to the Super Bowl? Like he'll get that kind of Joe Burrow bump. I mean, Joe Burrow wasn't really in the MVP conversation, was he? Unless I'm wrong. I don't think he ever really was in the MVP conversation. Maybe he was. I don't really remember, but he wasn't. I mean, during the year, like he didn't get a lot of hobby love, unless I'm mistaken. It was really after he won the playoff game that he started to take off. And then obviously, because like you could buy optic hollows of Burrow for less than $100. Herbert was always high hobby-wise though. Like the optic hollow Herbert was always over $200. Maybe in the middle of the season it dipped a little bit, but it was up there for most of the year. Yeah. Yep. I know you're a Herbert guy for sure. Oh yeah, go Jacks, SDSU, let's go. And some of these cards are still going. Wow, hey Tim, this Sabretooth is still going. You were talking about this last week, the 2013 green. BGS 85. Thoughts on Allen? He's awesome. Man, I don't know. He's awesome. I worry about him getting injured. I think he runs a little bit too much, but he's awesome. Herbert is most likely. Yeah, you could be right. I mean, I think he's the most likely out of that class. Out of all the new guys. There's a lot of these like little these Brazil. What are these? Are these like stickers or something? These are cool. It's like soccer stickers, 1976. I'm assuming those are probably high grades. Yeah. 1 of 3 non-graded higher. 1 of 1 non-graded higher. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Starting with Josh Allen and forward long term, I think Herbert's more likely to stay healthy and productive into his 30s. I think I agree with that. With Josh Allen, I worry about him running too much and just getting injured, or because all the like truly great QBs, like none of them were particularly mobile. Well, that's why, but that's also why I think Lamar Jackson is like the worst hobby investment. And that's my opinion. It's not, be all end all, but I just think that I don't know. I just think he's probably just gonna get hurt. Yeah. I mean, there's no guarantees for anybody in football. Alec, I will be there. Yes, I'm going to the Burbank show. I'm probably just going to be there on Friday. But it's kind of TBA at this point in time. I'm going with my wife. We're going on a little vacation, and it's just going to be part of the trip. But I will be at the show. Probably not going to do much buying or selling or anything. Most likely just going to walk around and talk to people, meet some people, and if I find something that looks cool, I might buy it, but I'm not planning on bringing a bunch of cash to the show. That's not really the plan. Mainly just to meet people and hang out a bit. Okay. Yeah, frankly, that's what most football seasons come down to, is which team stays healthiest, right? That's what it always comes down to. I mean, same could be said with really any sport, but I think football is just because injuries are so common, I mean, look at the Jets, right? Like, their freaking left tackle blows out his knee, and then their quarterback blows out his knee, and then whoop. Oops, am I still alive, guys? Hello? You guys hear me? We good? Okay. Sorry, clicked out of my thing. Yeah, so you just look at the Jets, and obviously that team's not going to be any good this year because, well, they weren't terribly good to begin with on paper, and now they just are walking around with a bunch of hobbled players. And look at the Bucks, they lost 2 of their starting offensive linemen already, the Buccaneers, and now their quarterback's not with the team. I don't know. Just not optimistic about those teams anymore. The Sabretooth is still going. That's crazy. So there's only a few things still going. What is this? You guys ever seen this before? Primrose Confectionery number 20 Pele. Football Funnies. Wow, that is cool. So it's really, your starting quarterback goes down for the season, and you're basically screwed. The only time you saw that not happen was the Eagles when Wentz went down and Foles took him to the Super Bowl. That's been as far as I can remember, that's kind of been the only thing. You think he's going to retire? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. What I wouldn't be shocked about is if he starts the season and then they lose it for a couple games and he gets hurt and then he's just like, I'm done. That's what I wouldn't be surprised about. I would not be shocked if the Bucks had a terrible year. Like if they just get out the gate bad. I mean, they got a new coach. They got they've already had a bunch of problems with their offensive line. Brady's been away from the team. Yeah, you like the. I was hearing about that today. I like the Masked Singer theory as well. That's awesome. So. Yeah, I don't know. I just wouldn't be shocked if he just left in the middle of the season or before the season started, if he was just like, yeah, I'm good. So, yeah, their offensive line is a disaster. Through no fault of their own. I mean, they just had injuries, frankly. And didn't somebody just retire too? Didn't one of their offensive linemen like randomly retire? Am I making that up or is that true? Ooh, this is cool. Wayne Gretzky auto. The Colts, I think, actually are going to be good. The one thing they keep complaining about is the wide receivers, but I think their receiving core is fine. Man, I don't know about that. He'll call up Brady. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think Belichick and Brady are done. They're donezo. Belichick's on his donezo list. Costanzo's retired last year or 2 years ago, didn't he? He wasn't on the team last year. Old man dead arm, yeah. But I mean, didn't he lead the league in yards and touchdowns last year or something? I thought he led the league in yards. Or I know he led the league in touchdowns. I don't know if he led the league in yards. But anyways. Well, gentlemen and ladies, it's been very fun as always. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. If you guys haven't seen, the new vlog is live on the channel, so make sure to check that out. It was a really fun one. I enjoyed that one a lot. A lot of good deals and friendly people. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I think no Whatnot sale tomorrow night. I'm getting ready for our trip, so I'm going to probably not have one for another couple, might be actually 3 weeks, because we'll be getting back next week. So I probably won't have one the following Monday. And then the week after that is Shipshawana, so it might be a couple weeks before another Whatnot, but no, I did not from the bench. Sorry about that. Basically, I just put the camera on the tripod on a table. That's what I do. It's not really that complicated. There's also a video on my channel with all the equipment that I use, so if you want to check that out, that'd be another good thing to do. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. So hoping to get some good videos from Burbank, and yeah, if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe and join the Discord. We're always chatting it up in there. So thanks a lot, guys, and I'll